Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Cert Bros. In this video, we're going to be talking about access control lists. So what is an access control list? Access control lists, also known as ACLs or simply access lists, are rule-based lists that are used by switches and routers to identify traffic. They can identify traffic based on the source address, destination address, and port numbers. The most common use for an access list is to deny or permit traffic. But there are other uses for access lists, such as configuring network address translation and quality of service. Let's take a look at a quick example. This router has an ACL configured. The ACL is configured with rules that tell it which traffic is allowed to pass and which traffic is not. For example, we may want to allow all traffic destined for this server. But at the same time, we may want to block all other traffic to any other host. This is all possible with a very simple access list. Okay, so now we have an idea about what an access list does. Let's see what one looks like. Here is a simple access list. It consists of one or more lines called rules, which specify if traffic should be permitted or denied. Don't worry, we'll look at what each bit means in just a moment. The first thing you'll probably notice is the number on the left. This represents the order of each rule. The reason it goes up in tens is to give you the flexibility to come back at a later date and add rules in between the existing ones. Why does that matter? Well, the order of the list is very important. When a router or switch receives some traffic, it checks the access control list. It starts at the top of the list and it works its way down. It keeps going until it finds a matching rule. As soon as a matching rule is found, it stops looking and applies that rule. This means you have to be very careful to put the rules in the right place. Otherwise, you could deny traffic that you're trying to permit or permit traffic that you're trying to deny. We'll see this more as we go. Another very important note here is that if no matching rule is found, the traffic will automatically be denied. There is an invisible deny everything rule at the bottom of every access list. This is known as the implicit deny. Okay, so now we know what an access list does and what it looks like. Now let's take a closer look. There are three types of access list. The first is a standard access list. Now, when you configure an access list, you use a number to identify the type of access list you want to configure. A standard access list uses any number between 1 and 99. Then Cisco decided to expand this to also include 1300 to 1999. This expansion meant we can configure a lot more access lists per device. Standard access lists only use the source address to identify traffic, so this can be quite limiting. The second type of access list is called an extended access list. Extended access lists uses any number between 100 and 199, and expanded numbers between 2000 to 2699. Extended access lists allow us to identify traffic not only on the source address, but the destination address, protocol, and port number as well. So we can have a lot more granular control with extended access lists. The last type I want to mention is called a named access list. A named access list allows standard or extended lists to be given names rather than numbers. If you have multiple access lists on a device, named lists make it easier to identify what each list does, making them easier to manage.